Hello everyone, this is Parker here, going to give you a tutorial, what was that, on how to do trinomial squares. So, number one, let's start off with a pretty easy problem, and by the way, pardon my abysmal writing with this trackpad, it's pretty difficult. Okay, so x squared plus 6x plus 9. So now, if you guys remember from that handy hand of factoring, you have to check first if there's a GCF, which as you can tell, there is not a GCF in here. But you can see that there are two squares. There's an x squared and then a 9. So what you have to do, parentheses down here, you take the root of this, the square root, so this will just be x, and then plus, since these are positive, and then the square root of 9, which is 3. What? Sorry. 3. Okay? And then make sure when you're done, put a square on the outside. So this is foiling through, this is carrying through. So a way to make sure that you have this correct is that if you multiply these together, it is half of this number. So if this would be 3x if you multiply it together, which is half of 6x. So you know that is correct. So good to go. Now I'll just erase this the best I can. And you here. Okay. Let's move on to a little more difficult problem here. 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Now, GCF, there is nothing here. So, but there are two squares out front, 4 and the x squared, and then the 9. So if there's a square in front of the x squared, so if there's like a 4, a 9, a 16 in front of the x squared, then you have to put the square root of that number. So it'd be 2x, and then the square root of 9 is 3. And then make sure you put the square out there. Okay, so again, the way to check this is if you multiply these together, it would be half of 12x. So these together are 6x, and 6x is half of 12x. So that is that. And then, let's do one more problem, and then we'll be good. I think you'll be set after that. So 9x squared plus 30x. Oh man, this is pretty bad. Plus 25. Okay. So again, as you can tell, there are not any greatest common factors. So I'm going to put the parentheses, always in parentheses, the 3 for the 9, and then you put the x, plus, and then the square root of 25 would be 5. Okay, and then you always put the square root right here, or the square. And then again, to check, you multiply 3x times 5, which would be 15x. And 15x is indeed half of 30x. So, there you have it, ladies and gents. I hope this tutorial helped you in the field of trinomial squares. Thank you very much. Have a great day.